Vanessa Ruck, the girl on a bike. Welcome back to my workshop. This video is going to be talking about backpacks. It's a really handy piece of kit to have on the motorcycle, but what on earth do you put in it? So let's dive into what I carry on my back. As a rider, I have ridden in 33 different countries now. I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of miles on lots of different motorcycles. And so I've got lots of experience trying to work out what on earth it is that I need to carry on my back. Now, obviously on a motorcycle, anything that you're carrying is weight and fatigue. So I definitely try and have it to a minimal. And not everything that I'm going to be talking about today is in my backpack on every single trip. There are some variations depending on what it is I'm doing, who I'm with, what type of bike I'm on. But hopefully this video is going to give you a bit of insight into some of the things to think about if you're going to be going out for a day or a couple of days riding on different types of motorcycles. So the first part of this process is getting yourself a backpack, and this is a slightly personal process. I'm going to be honest that it's taken me a few years to find a backpack that I am really comfortable with. And I actually get on with this backpack so much that I use it for my everyday riding and also my extreme desert racing. So this is the very bag that I race Dakar in. I find it comfortable and of a sort of size that carries what I need, but not too much. When you're thinking about a backpack, you want to think about the fastenings on it. I have a reconstructed shoulder, so having a bag that distributes the weight across my body and my torso really helps with that pain. And I really like being able to have a waist strap and a chest strap. Now, depending on your shape, your boobs, your belly, all bags are going to fit slightly differently, so find one that is comfortable for you. The other thing to think about is the construction of the bit that goes on your back. This one has slightly vented and it's got a slightly padded mesh, which makes it a little bit more comfortable to sit on. But get yourself a bag that fits your body really nicely. I do also have a slightly smaller version of this. So this is the Mosko Wildcat 12. I have the 8 as well, which is just a little bit smaller. I tend to gravitate towards this one though, because it's just a little bit more practical. So on the table here, I have an array of things, and in no particular order, I'm going to go through them. And as I'm going through it, I would love for you to get any of your comments or questions in the comments below to let me know if you think there's something that I've missed, or if you think there's something in here that, like, that's a really good idea, I'm going to add that to my packing list. Or just tell me where you're from and what your name is and what motorbike you ride. I really love to hear from you. And while you're there, please tick the bell so you get notifications on my future videos. One of the things that I really want to try and do with my channel is just share some of the knowledge and experience that I've gained through riding, racing, and doing a lot of things on motorbikes over the years. And if you enjoy it, please do share it with your friends. So, the backpack. There's a really important one in here. I'm going to save it till a little bit later because it's actually a life-saving piece of equipment that goes into your bag. In no particular order, I'm going to start probably with the order of how I'd probably put them into my bag. Now, if I open up this bag, it does have a bladder inside. It has a little holder. Worth getting a bag that has a bladder in there. When you're riding on a bike, you obviously can't have a cup holder unless you're a BMW rider, and then obviously you've got your Starbucks holder. Jokes. I really like BMW riders too. I just love the banter. So get yourself a bladder. It's a really good way to stay hydrated. When you are hydrated, your body can perform to the optimum, and if you get to the point where you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So riding along with a bladder, particularly if you're doing anything physical like off-road or you're in warmer climates, is a must. I don't have just water in there because our bodies actually find it hard to hydrate from water. So I have two different types of electrolytes that I use. So the first one is kind of my everyday, and I chose to use the SIS, which is Science and Sport Hydro. And it's worth experimenting with different electrolytes because some electrolytes might give you a little bit of a flush out. So I really get on with their electrolytes, but their energy gels will make me run to the toilet if I'm on them for a couple of days. Now that is just a hydration electrolyte. If I am racing, then I go with Tailwind, and that is because this is a electrolyte carbohydrate energy. So on a typical day in the desert, I have 2,500 calories of this in my water across the day. So Get yourself some hydration, get your bladder filled up. You might only want 1 litre, you might want the 3 litres. Get that into your bag first because that takes up a volume of space in there, and you want to be redirecting the bladder as well. I tend to find having this so that my left hand is using it so that I can stay on the throttle so that you can continue to ride smoothly. So I have it over my left shoulder, and this bag has a little bit where it comes out and then it clips down onto the strap and it stops it flapping around. So that is the electrolytes done. We'll move those out of the way. That's obviously in the water. Now, because I'm doing a lot of filming, I carry filming camera equipment as well. I've got a little DJI Neo. He can go into the bottom of the bag, and I have a bigger DJI camera, which is more of the controller foams, and I don't always have that. Sometimes I have it on the pannier on the bike. In this bag, it has a nice pouch at the front which expands, and that goes into that big pocket, and he goes in there. It's already in a waterproof case, so I feel quite comfortable with that going in there. Because I've got cameras, I therefore have spare equipment, so I have a little tub. This has spare batteries, and it has 2 tubs, one with new SD cards and one with the full SD card, so that I don't have to work out which was full and which weren't at the end of the trip. That just pops into the bag as well. And because sometimes my iPhone gets tired, I have a battery pack that goes in there with the cables. If I'm stopping somewhere where it's going to be a little bit cold, I like to have a beanie, helmet hair, cold head, all of those kind of things. So somewhere like Iceland, I definitely have a beanie in there. We then have a rain jacket. Depending on what you're wearing, you might not be waterproof, and so being able to keep yourself protected from the rain is really important. So that fits in there as well. I then have my earplugs case. Now, I don't always take the earplugs case with me, but it kind of lives around my rucksack. If you ride a motorcycle for 50 miles an hour for 15 minutes, it will do permanent hearing damage to your ears. So I always wear molded custom earplugs. So that is actually the shape of my ear. And they go in. I find the normal earplugs, I get really fatigued because they kind of pressure point, and these are so flush and in that I can, ride for ages with them in without getting any kind of fatigue. What I tend to do is take the earplugs out and put them in my jacket pocket at the beginning of a ride, and then I don't need to carry the case. I'm just going to recover the mayhem that has just gone down here and bring the bag back up. This is an important one. My passport or my driving license, or both, depending on where I'm going. Some card plastic so that if I need money, I then always make sure I'm carrying cash. So I've got some euros and some sterling pounds in there, and that is with me wherever I go. If you have any medical things that paramedics would need to know if they found your body, it's worth having a piece of paper in your wallet. If you're running something like the Real Rider SOS map, then they're going to get the information through that with the ambulance call. Check out my other video if you don't know what I'm talking about. But you want your money and who you are. The Bulldog clip is a random one. If you are going on a ferry or a Eurotunnel, you get a flappy piece of paper at check-in that you then have to have on display on your bike as you go onto the ferry. And you know what it's like on a motorcycle, we don't have a dashboard. A little Bulldog clip onto your fairing on the front of the bike and hold that piece of paper really clear. So that's only relevant if you're doing that kind of transport. Sunglasses, if you're going to be riding all day and you're not going to stop anywhere, then you're not going to need that. But let's say you're going to the pub for lunch on a sunny day, or you're going to sit and enjoy the view on top of the cliff top. Sunglasses are a nice one to add in. Now, this one is a little bit of a Vanessa hack. I don't think I've ever heard anyone else have this, and my mum is the one I need to thank for this. So when you're on a motorcycle, you get a lot of wind coming at you. When you're doing sweaty off-road motorcycling, you get sweat. You then add in dust, mud, sand. You might be wiping your nose. You might be rubbing yourself. And it's really easy for your lips to get quite sore and dry. And I've found that Germolene is the best thing to put on your lips. Better than any lip sole, anything. And I can go through a 13-day desert rally with Germolene and not get sore lips at all. Little bit of a hack. Try it. It feels amazing and it will keep your lips kissable right to the end of your ride. Okay, we then have a tool roll. Now, depending on what bike I'm riding and who I'm with will depend on my tool roll. I have another video on my channel, what's in the tool roll, so check that video out. Now, when I'm on my desert rally bike, I have a specific dedicated tool roll that lives under the seat of my bike, so I don't have this one. And depending on if I'm on a group trip, so say I'm riding with Dust Devils in Spain or Toro Trail or Big Little Rides, whoever it is, they tend to have a tour leader or support car with the tools, so I don't need it. But depending on your situation, you might want to have a tool roll with some basic tools, basic spares, puncture repair, fuses, that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to put that in my bag today because I don't need it. I then have a little medical kit and an emergency kit. And again, it depends who I'm riding with, whether I have these. Now, in the desert rallies, these are compulsory pieces of kit, and I have them in little easy zip out pouches because it just makes life easier. And when I first started to do the desert rallies, I was thinking, like, why do we need a lighter? Why do we need like a head torch, painkillers, spare electrolytes, even a compass? And then when you get stuck in the desert on your own, you realize that that emergency blanket and that lighter can save your life. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out my Tunisia desert rally video because I had a couple of very hairy moments in the desert. One included a night in the desert with a campfire, and I can promise you it wasn't romantic. It was pretty terrifying being in the dunes in the middle of nowhere on my own. But having this meant that I wasn't in the pitch black and I wasn't freezing cold in the desert. And then I had another day where I got stuck in 48 degrees in the sun in the dunes with another mechanical, and I ended up having a helicopter rescue, and the emergency blanket probably saved my life. So they're two extras. Again, it depends who you're riding with and the situation as to whether you're going to need those. Sunscreen is a pretty important one. You might have noticed I'm a little bit like a panda, so it's particularly important for me. I've got vitiligo, the white patches on my skin, and so they burn really, really easily. And humans tend to burn, so I always make sure I've got a sunscreen. Little hack for me is I don't have a cream sunscreen because if you squish them or they accidentally come open, it makes such a mess in your bag. So I always get the spray-on sunscreen, and it goes on really easily, especially onto my patches, and isn't going to make a mess in the bag. The top just locks closed, so that goes in the bag too. And it's quite impressive how much you can fit in these bags. That's already in. This goes in the little front pouch. Okay, the life-saving piece of kit that has to be in your bag. Tell me if you agree. Snacks. And if you've ever been anywhere near me or probably watched any of my videos before, you'll realize I eat a lot of snacks. So I am a particular fan of having a nut mix with raisins, and I've recently discovered edamame beans in it as well. They're really crunchy. So this is my little snack pouch that I'm going to put in. I just use little sandwich bags and make munchy sized packs, and that goes in the bag as well. And that is what is in my backpack. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think is missing, and I'll see you in my next video. I'm Vanessa Rupp, the girl on a bike. Thanks for watching.